Hello, it's me again, and this time a bit quick succession with the vlogging because I have been a little bit too sporadic, but I'm trying to get back to weekly. Today, another LARP vlog, and I knock my temper tripod. We are going to talk about the beginnings of creative thinking because that subject is a massive can of worms and you can do so much of it because all roleplay requires creative thinking, but sometimes most of it is just to do with making rules, but other times it's when you're kind of thinking beyond the rules and thinking what you really can do. Now, I thought of this today because of the LARP I just went to on Sunday, Bristol Falls and Heroes. We came across a dilemma where one of our party members lost their leg and, well, it was quite early into the mission, sadly, and otherwise they wouldn't be able to do anything because they'd just be hobbling and walking. So the physicians banded together, well, not entirely, some of them just kind of went, I don't want to deal with this, and made a peg leg. Now, it was very interesting because I've never seen it done in LARP before, just making a peg leg, and it was all done so wonderfully. Like, they were going, oh no, what do? We need to amputate it, we need to stop the bleeding, and they're freaking out like that. And then they were running around trying to find a stick. They found a thin, brittle one, which they decided was a bit rubbish. They found one that was just too big, then they found a proper chunky log. And to simulate it being a peg leg, they tied the actual log to the player's leg, and it was all just brilliantly funny and very, very silly. And it was such a joy to watch, even though my character was just like, I have no idea, I'm not a physician, I'm not getting involved with this, this is their professional opinion on what should be done. And then from there, that's how the day went. Things just went a bit weird. One of our party members got kidnapped and put in a ritualistic death sleep, which is basically like a coma kind of thing, but they were completely protected from the world, so you know, you could just use them as a battering ram if you wanted to. And instead of trying to keep the kidnapper alive to get the information out of them, we killed them and took their head and torso with us, so we kept dragging that around and we kept tying weapons to it. So I think at this point the rest were just kind of slowly crying inside, along with a few of the players. And then we also just kept dragging the comatose body around of us, and apparently at one point they tried to set him on fire, which isn't something you normally do to someone who's comatose, because they thought, oh, how do we dry him if he's wet? We set him on fire, because that is clearly a logical progression there. It was very, very weird and very bizarre. But when you come to things like LARP and roleplay, don't just follow the standard rules. Think a bit more creatively. Like, one example is going to tabletop. I was a bard and I had a spell called Solid Note. Normally you use that for, say, getting onto like higher areas or trying to trip people up. I used it to block someone's mouth up when they were firing evil, angry bees from their mouth. And that's not what you consider an ordinary use of the spell. And I was allowed it, and I was really pleased that I could do it. So you just gotta think of the weird, quirky things that will throw off the ref, GM, etc. But it'll also be fun. I mean, sometimes if it gets too extreme, they might decide to go, actually, I'm not gonna allow this. But generally, they will reward players for the ingenuity via just roleplay effects or praise, etc. But it is always worth trying to make sure you kind of think beyond the usual capabilities of your menagerie of skills and items, because you can get some really fun things out of it. Okay, I will cover more in terms of creative thinking over the course, hopefully. My next one will hopefully be about magical effects. I need to do a bit more research on that one because different systems perform magic differently and have different rules, but it's a very extensive subject, so it should be a good one, and I hope I do it justice. But until then, I will see you in the next one. And where's the screen? Where's this? Whoop.